I mean, at some point we gotta get started, and it can't be.
I'm waiting for you.
You're on your phone.
You're not asking me no real questions.
We're starting soon. I mean, I'm getting up to that. So
we didn't start.
We are starting. It's recording. It's been recording for the past 5 minutes.
Okay, can you
so
pause
all of
it
this
and then start it again?
No. This could all go into the episode. You
No,
don't know you don't know what's gonna. As soon as the camera starts recording, it's all like it can all go into the episode.
You didn't even say action.
I did. I said it's recording.
Okay.
I did say that. All right.
Okay.
Let's start with this.
Mm-hmm.
A light way to start the episode, right?
Okay.
Before we actually get into the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Just a simple question. Just to see where your head's at before we get started. What do you think you're gonna do after you graduate college?
I don't want this to air. I'm saying this right now. If this airs, I have all the right to sue.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 138 of the Empty Opinions podcast with your host, Eladio Polanco. Yeah, it's been a lot of episodes. You remember when I started this? I don't think you did. You weren't paying attention. You only realized I was doing a podcast when I asked you to be on it. I remember. You remember? You were like, oh, wow, you're doing a podcast? That's so cute. But yeah, we're in episode 138.
That's such a lie because I followed.
Yeah, I'm joking. I don't remember when you became aware of it. I just know that you actually knew of it really when I got you on. Which is I mean, I don't get mad at that. But yeah, episode 138, a lot of episodes for this specific episode. I didn't know who to get. No, I'm joking. I actually, here's what it was. No, that's not what it was.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't, honestly. I mean, I asked you to do it. It's not like I ran out of people. I have an episode coming out. By the time we're recording this, it comes out tomorrow. So I got a whole week. It's it was through Zoom. It's this girl from Florida. She's like an artist, writer, designer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that episode should be out now by the time you're listening to this. But yeah, for this episode, we got a very special guest. It's been a while since we had her on the podcast. Like almost a year?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. More than a year. It was during summer of 2020. Shit. I'm going to let her introduce herself. We have...
Joshuela.
That's it? We have Joshuela. Barbie. Known as, a.k.a. Joshuela, a.k.a. Barbie, a.k.a. What is another a.k.a. of yours?
You said Barb. I'm going by Barb now more. Barb. It's more serious, but still not Barb.
Yeah, Barbie. And it's not Barbie, which is like, so, she thinks she a Barbie.
Or just like... I actually had this ugly ass. Never mind. Sorry. We're not even gonna be negative. But no.
Nah, come on. Okay,
Barb is just more like serious, but it's so.
But what were you gonna say? Remove ugly ass.
Oh no, that same exact thing that you just said. Oh, look at her. She thinks she's a Barbie. Yeah, this ugly ass boy. And I just look. I'm like, you don't. Yeah, I'm like, you don't even have the right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what
questions like that?
Yeah. So wait, he said it just like that. It was just like, oh, your name is Barbie, like with attitude.
Well, we were friends, so he was just like playing around. Okay. But I still felt like
you felt away.
We not that cool.
Did you feel away when I just said that?
No, I mean I didn't feel away either with that. But I'm just like, we not that. It's more like, you know, when you want to. Like, you're playing around, but then you want me to say something playful, but like I probably would have hurt your feelings because I would have just said something. That's true. Like. It was something like that at the moment. So I'm like...
Well, that's good that you held back. You held back, right? You didn't actually say anything after that? You're just going to or like try to play it off? Because, yeah, you can... I think we just
laughed, but I probably said something. This was so long ago. I probably definitely said something.
I'm sure I mean, all women are capable of saying the most hurtful shit to a guy.
Oh, no, it wasn't that deep.
I'm just saying,
but it was more like...
But you're capable of it. I feel like you know exactly what you would say to that guy. To this day... That could make him like lose his shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, because I felt like he was just doing it because we were friends for a while. We were really cool. I felt like he was just doing it because like there was like certain people around, so he was trying to be funny. So that's why I was just like,
no,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Those are the worst people. I've had so many experiences with people like that where like in front of a group, like to be cool, like. There was like they start cracking jokes on you, but then after everybody leaves, they try to be like buddy, like you know, just like, and then they try to get like buddy because they knew that they did something wrong. That happened to me a lot in middle school. it's interesting to see where they're at in life now. Like those same people that did that. It's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like doing, barbershops and it's always funny. Have you noticed that there's like there's a journey that certain people go through in life that I'm seeing it a lot where it's like, and this is going to sound oddly specific, but I've just seen it with so many people that is really
this
not.
This specific thing.
This thing that I'm going to say, I've seen it a lot. So it's not specific to one person. It just happens with a lot of people I know where it's like high school. It's like a roller coaster where it goes up. It's like, oh, you're out of high school, right? Military. And then you hit the peak and it's like barbershop, selling weed. And it just goes down and down and down. Have you seen that like journey with a lot of people? Because I see that a lot. It's always fun when you see them jumping from one thing to another and you're like, okay, that makes sense. That's like the natural like next step for a lot of these people. Have you noticed that? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I feel like it's not like that. That was specific.
That was not that specific. I mean, I promise you it's not specific. Ask any barber that you meet if they were military before, they'll probably say yeah. It's usually like and this, I'm not saying all military people become barbers and not all barbers become military people. I'm just saying there's a certain like ride that they go in.
Well, I mean, I don't know everybody's path or like choices or why, but I think maybe because you go to the military just to try to figure your life out.
Of course.
Like, you don't have a direction.
But this is what,
You're going to try to go over there, figure some shit out. You get there, you still didn't figure, like, sometimes we think, like, oh, I just need to figure out what to do, and then I'm going to be set in life.
Yeah.
But it's, like, other things that are holding you back.
And also, you're right about the military thing being, like, because not only is it a good time for you to figure yourself out, you also get, like, a good job and good money. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, as opposed to just not going to college, not doing anything, at least even just going to the military helps you, like, be useful, at least for the time that you figure yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good contingency plan, I think, for anybody.
I feel like it's just, the military just kind of, I don't know how to say it. Like, I clearly haven't been in the military, but from what I can see, it kind of like gives you a reality check.
Oh,
like, it's like,
especially like Marines.
This is not all games. Like, get your shit together.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happens. And then maybe when they're finished, because as good as the military might be to you, you don't want to probably like live under people's rules all your life. Right. So then you're like, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna do something with myself, something that I love. So you're like, oh, let me cut hair. Everybody needs a barber. I think that's smart. I try to tell my brother, I'm like, you could start cutting hair, have a side hustle. He said, I'm not trying to be a barber. I actually told him, I'm like, I think that's a
well, it's a good side hustle for sure. I don't know if it should be. Well, whatever. You're right. We're not on no negative shit on this episode, except the first 10 minutes with me were all negative. But let's move past that. No, but I was saying because the military or the Marines, it really does teaches you like discipline, and when you learn that, you can apply that shit to anything in your life. Like, you decide to do whatever it is, now you have that discipline to do it, and then you just So in that way, that really does teach you like a life skill. I don't even know how we got to this. How are you doing, Barbie? How have you been in the past year? What have you been doing? What are you up to?
Really good.
You're good? You're feeling good? That's good. That's good that you're feeling good. You're feeling like mentally healthy. Health is wealth, all that shit.
I'm trying to go vegan again. I don't know how I did it like so easily that first time.
Maybe you just didn't want to eat. Sometimes you go through those phases where
I think it was that I wasn't craving anything at all. You know what I did though before I went vegan? I actually, everything I was craving, I just like ate it the day before. Before I decided like, okay, I was like, tomorrow I'm gonna be vegan and I'm gonna start. And then before that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna eat everything I want. Yeah. My stomach was hurting so bad, and I'm just like, oh my god, never again.
It turned you off of it,
And by the time I started being vegan, I'm like just trying to like cleanse myself and everything. And by the time it was like 30 days, I'm already like used to it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's a Panera. We could wait. Put a pin on it.
Let's get the shit out of me. You want to do a mukbang?
A what?
A mukbang?
A what?
So, a mukbang. You don't know what a mukbang is?
No.
It's when you eat and talk at the same time.
I thought that's what we were doing. I thought that's proper
saying, like,
etiquette when you invite somebody over.
No, I'm saying like this wasn't the plan, but I'm saying since we don't have a lot of time, do you want to do the podcast and eat at the same time?
Oh yeah.
And make it content.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, they so extra.
What? They give you a lot.
Yeah, I like that. But is it still recording?
It's still recording.
Oh, I could give my little speech real quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, but basically I don't mean horrible like I used to, but I'm not making anymore. And sometimes so I'm trying to go back to that. And I run in the morning, get up like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I just go running for a little bit. Sometimes that's too much for me, so I start lunging instead of running. But I try to do 30 minutes in the morning. And then what else do? I just try to travel when I can. Oh, I play golf for the school. Golf?
Oh, golf. I thought you said ball.
Yeah. College athlete, guys.
That's crazy. You do everything. What's up with you?
I try.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how you learn what you like and what you don't.
Yeah, college is superstar college athlete now. What the fuck? Didn't it come with a knife?
I'd be chilling. I'm doing my homework. Right now I'm ahead.
Right now you're ahead on homework?
Mm-hmm.
Like you finished a lot of the work that you had to.
I usually finish all my homework in the beginning of the week.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it. For real.
You've just been enjoying life?
School. Yeah.
There's no... Well, you know what's interesting? Oh, last time we did the episode, because you were talking about how much you felt like you changed, and you feel like you're trying to be, healthier and trying to improve yourself, self-love, working on yourself, all that shit, right?
It takes time.
It does take time.
I mean, I think I got better.
Wait, what?
I'm saying I'm here again saying the same thing. It's a year later. But I'm saying it's a
it doesn't stop. It never stops. But I'm just saying, I'm bringing that up to say that when you were talking about that, I was just like, I'm not there at all. Like mentally, I was like, I'm still kind of I really am still a mess mentally, but I recently started to do shit to work on myself, which is great. I deserve a round of applause for that. You know what I mean?
That's so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I.
What this one do?
That one?
Mm-hmm.
Can you even hear it? Let me get the control. Yeah, it's too low, right?
Mm-mm.
You can hear it?
Yeah. Double homicide.
Do you remember that? you don't remember that meme?
I don't be on social media.
This is my favorite one. This is the best sound on this.
I go on social media.
You don't know that
the
sound.
Shave Room, whatever's on the Shave Room.
Yeah,
basically tells me everything that's happening.
Yeah.
And then
that's how you keep up with the news.
Yeah, and then Instagram kind of just gives me my same friends. So I see your story, Jayla's story, Angel's story, a couple strangers that but it's really the same people. Yeah.
There's a lot of sounds. There's one here whenever you want to talk about conspiracy theories. We got the sound ready for that one.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
My favorite conspiracy theory? I think I think I think the moon one is interesting.
What moon one?
That we never went to the moon, or at least not when they said we did.
I believe that.
Yeah, the conspiracy that the people you remember that old ass video of the person walking on the moon. Mm-hmm. The conspiracy is that wasn't real. That was just recorded by this really famous director back in the fucking 60s, Alfred Hitchcock or Stanley Kubrick, one of them. And I kind of believe that because around that time, it was a space race. It was between Russia and the U.S. There was the Cold War.
Yeah.
This is a whole history lesson. But there was a Cold War, and there was a space race where they were fighting to see who could get to the space first. And then the U.S. apparently got there first. And then they recorded that video of them walking on the moon. This is a small step for man and a big step for mankind. Whatever the fuck that's.
Well, Russia made it out of space first.
Right,
and then the United States was just trying to be extra.
Yeah.
And then, I'm going to send this fucking man to the moon.
Yeah, we're going to have him walking on the moon. And so the conspiracy is that that was just directed by this big director in the 60s just to get ahead of Russia. And And I'm not saying we never made it to the moon. I think eventually we probably did. But I think at that time, we didn't. And they just recorded that video just to... Because they knew they wasn't going to be able to get somebody in the moon at that time. But probably took them like a few more years. And then they did it. But just to trick the whole world. It's like, oh, we did it first. Just so they wouldn't risk losing to Russia again. Then that's what they recorded that video. That's my favorite conspiracy theory. Because it makes sense. Especially the way that if you see the video now, it's really weird the way it looks. It looks just how they used to make movies back in the day. You know, like the black and white movies. Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like. It doesn't even look real. Like people say they can see strings and shit. It's a very interesting conspiracy theory. Yeah, I think that's mine. But I mean, what other sounds do I have here? Other sounds that you would even know about. Oh, you probably know this, man.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Have you seen that video of that? You don't know shit. You're gonna... This is kind of cool because you really kind of just stay to yourself and you don't know what the fuck is really going on in the world. And that's commendable. I'm actually trying to get off of social media more and not be, you know, refreshing to see fucking dumb stories or like tweets and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to stay off of that because I feel like, well, this is an interesting topic. Another reason I'm trying to stay off social media is because I feel like I'm too impulsive. And I tend to do things that I probably shouldn't do, but it's during the moment, like sliding into a girl's DMs or like telling them something that I probably shouldn't. And it's nothing crazy. It's just kind of like flirting or whatever, or like getting ahead of myself when I see that something's like trending upward. You know what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. Like lack of patience. Like I see certain stories and I'm like, oh, I gotta respond to this. Oh, this is my opening. This is where like I go for it. And it's always too early. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need more patience in terms of, like, letting things, like, grow. Like, letting things build and not rushing it or forcing it. But in social media, if I see a story of a beautiful girl, I'm swiping up. I don't care what, I'm swiping up. Because it's like an instinct at this point. I'm just like, oh, heart emojis. And it's like... I can't be living my life like this, man. It's just too much. It's just, it's almost like temptations that I gotta stay away from in order to work on myself. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you gotta say? You're laughing. Obviously, you want to say something, so just say it.
I have nothing to say.
Yes, you do. Clearly.
To be honest,
are you just smiling?
I'm literally here thinking how this is about to be the lamest episode you probably have.
Why?
And
why?
Friend, if you just want somebody to come and sit on your couch so you can rant and talk, like I can do that also. You don't have to record.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You don't have to record every episode. You could just rant and I'll listen.
Then what? What the? What? I don't even know. What do you mean by that? Like that's just an episode. People rant on podcasts. No.
Okay. Well, not the podcast.
Well, you listen to motivational shit. It's like you need to do this in your life. You need to work hard, and you need to do this, and you need to, you know, go vegan, and like that's not the guy. This is a comedy.
I've never watched a podcast about going vegan.
I don't know what podcast you listen to, but I'm just saying this is a comedy podcast. It's supposed to be funny. Do you want us to turn into like a motivational, like tell people what to do? You know what I mean? Do you want to turn into that? I could turn into a motivational speaker.
What is your purpose for your podcast?
It's just a conversation with people I have on, and the conversation just goes wherever the guest wants it to go, or whatever the guest is interested in. Right now, I get we talked about the conspiracy theories.
Where do you see your podcast
going? Mm-hmm. Like, where could it go? I mean, eventually getting, you know, no offense, but like famous people. Well, eventually you might be famous, so maybe it's gonna be one of those things where like I got her before she was famous. Those are always cool.
Could be.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, eventually I want to have like do you know the Joe Rogan podcast?
No.
It's just this is the biggest podcast in the world. He just has different like people on every episode, and you know it's just mainly just conversations. There's no real point to it. It's just based on what the guest want to talk about, okay, what they're interested in, and who they are, right? Like, let's say, throw me a famous name that I could have on a podcast, and I will tell you how it would go. Like, any famous celebrity.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. I would have him on. Obviously, it would be pretty funny, because he's really funny. I would talk to him about Deadpool and shit, right? I wouldn't even plan it. I don't plan episodes. Every episode I do is just off the top and just feeling the flow. That's why I decided to turn this into a mukbang halfway through it. I didn't plan that. I didn't have that planned. I thought the food was going to take way longer than it did. It came in like 15 minutes. I thought it was going to take like 45 minutes. And it was halfway through recording. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just eat. Let's just drink. Or, you have a healthy drink. I have this, which is just all sugar. This is the fucking frozen lemonade. The frozen strawberry lemonade, which is great. But I'm pretty sure it's not as healthy as... What is that? Green passion fruit? What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's talk about Panera, right? Let's talk about that. So you discovered it yesterday, you said?
Yeah.
Why? Like, were you just near a Panera and you were like, oh, let's see this?
No. I was just tired of going to Chick-fil-A. The Panera's Panera's right in front. Because I don't have a meal plan. Don't feel like cooking. So it's like, I'm not going to go buy groceries for them. Like, I only buy fruits and vegetables, and they usually, like, it'll go bad if I don't use it.
Right.
So I would buy groceries, and it would just stay there. So I was like, I'm not going to buy groceries until I'm actually going to cook. Yeah. And then I don't cook. So it's like, I need to buy food if I want to eat.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. Because that's why I even stopped buying groceries. Because like I've tried buying groceries 3 times, and they always go bad. It's like every single time is like 3 months later I have to throw it all away, like everything. And it's like, what? Well, let me just stop buying groceries and let me buy shit I'm actually going to eat. And so I bought a bunch of snacks like fucking Tostitos and Oreos and shit, and I haven't even eaten that. So it's like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, I got a bunch of chips and shit. I got like Nature Valleys. It's like,
shit tastes better when you just buy it at the moment.
Right? It's like, and for me, it's just the convenience. You know what I mean?
I was watching this.
Don't do that in front of the microphone because it's picking up all that noise. You're just hear like you can't even hear yourself.
Oh yeah,
it's just ASMR. That's the ASMR.
I was watching a video that actually said that, like, psychologically, food tastes better when somebody else makes it.
Interesting, right? Because I wonder what's the science behind. What do you think? Did he explain why?
My energy don't go into it. I don't know. That was my take on it. Yeah. If I'm not making it, I don't have to get up. I don't have to like. Yeah. I don't know. I like buying stuff.
Listen, I mean, this goes with the way I see money. In that, like, if I have money, why would I make my own food? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm paying. That's what the fuck is the point in money? It's just to like convenience your life, right?
I feel like people say that because it's a smart thing to say, but it just don't work for me. Like, I feel like I spend more money when I buy groceries than I gotta buy food on my way out. I'm not gonna make it. I feel like unless you're gonna come and make my own food, don't be telling me not to buy food outside.
Are you? So you just see? Yeah, because I'm starting to notice. There's just those people that eat, because I don't know. I wonder, does that become something that can change over time? Like, you think it's possible that you're gonna end up somebody who just cooks all the time, or you think that's just something so like you that will never change?
No, I think it will. Like, it just has to come from you. Like, I used to not cook at all. Now, like, I actually want to know how to make things. Like, my roommate. Yeah. I know how to make mac and cheese. She's black. She taught me. Okay. So don't think somebody else was teaching me how to make mac and cheese. No. Right. She taught me the right.
It wasn't like a white person teaching you mac and cheese.
I always hated mac and cheese. And then she had it. I liked it. She told me how to make it. I can make mac and cheese now.
So now you can make mac and cheese.
Yes. And I'll be very excited if I go over there and make some mac and cheese. Okay. And then I will go to the store, buy the stuff for just the mac and cheese, make that. That's it. Okay. I know how to make churros from scratch because that was something like...
Churros?
I actually wanted to learn. So I know how to make those, and I know how to make bread from scratch, actually.
Yeah. Was that like a quarantine thing?
No. A lot of people... It was during the summer. I was just like, I just... On my vision board this year...
You wrote, I want to learn how to make bread.
No. I always put, like, just learn new skills.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, like, broad, yeah.
So I try to learn, like, more shit. Excuse me. Whoa. More, like, shit about my car... Like, stuff I could do by myself. I think
with
did
your
I
car.
learn this last year or this year? Yeah, I basically like I could put like antifreeze in my car. Like I know it's not that big of a deal, but it's like
it's just a nice thing.
I could do it
thing.
now. You know, like if my air blows warm, I could go to an auto shop and I could just do it myself real quick.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
I know. There's a couple other things I could do. Like, I be timing myself. Like, I could probably vacuum my whole car under a minute and it'd be good. Ooh, like, just little stuff like that.
That's actually
like,
pretty cool.
I just be trying to learn, like, little stuff like that.
That's interesting. Yeah, because it builds up. And if you, if you're consistently learning small, things, you're going to know so much. I mean, especially by your...
That's probably why you say I do a lot of stuff. Because to me, it don't seem like I do.
No, you do, yeah. Because you're always constantly taking up new things to do. Because there is so much to do. That's actually pretty cool. That's something maybe... I mean, I'm trying to think. I think I learned shit, but it's more about the podcast. Because obviously, whenever, it's very different from the last time you came. The last time you did the episode. Obviously, there's a fucking speaker going on. There's a bunch of the new camera, new laptop. It's just like, obviously...
Yeah, I completely noticed.
You know what I mean? So I'm like... Yeah, so I can't tell when you're being sarcastic or not. I'll just assume you were being completely honest when you said that. But yeah, I do that thing with learning new skills, but it's mainly to the things I'm passionate about, like the podcast, like making videos. I'm always learning new little skills, like if you watch a YouTube video and somebody, when I'm watching a YouTube video and I see somebody doing something kind of cool with the editing, I'm like, I wonder how you do that, and then I go look it up on YouTube.
But that's good.
And I learn it. Yeah, I usually
because you're becoming the best at that one thing that you're good at.
That's right. Let's another round of applause.
I feel like I could be well-rounded, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but yours isn't a bad thing either, because you're gonna get that one thing and you're gonna be like a boss at that.
Yeah,
you can ask me about bread and churros and this and that, and I can I'm not gonna be the best at making any of them.
No,
but the good thing comes with the fact that I could make.
Yeah,
so it's like
I know what you're
take,
saying. There's two different ways of doing, and I don't think either is bad. You know what I mean? There's you can, I don't think one is better than the other, because they both have pros and cons. I could, fully learn about one thing and be the best at that thing, but, be ass at everything else.
You should do a high
profile?
High cast. A high cast.
Well, I did an episode where I ate some delicious brownies, and I almost had an anxiety attack in the first 5 minutes. Because I didn't realize the brownies were going to taste like that.
Oh, can I shout somebody out?
Yeah,
and
sure.
Tag them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Shout out to Louis. I don't know. I was going to see him before I came here, but...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
At x.xmm, something like that.
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be Roman numerals, no?
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, because X is 10, so it's 2 X's is 20.
Oh, then that's his birth.
There we go. Yeah, probably his birth year. I could see that. I don't know.
I just wanted to shout him out.
Yeah, shout out to him, wherever he is.
I don't know why. Right.
But what was I saying?
You know what? I'll take that shout out back. This is bullshit when he just texted me. But what were you saying?
I don't know what I was saying. You interrupted to give Louis a shout out. I don't remember what I was saying before that. Oh, yeah, I was saying there's two ways of doing things and neither is wrong. You could be the best at one thing and ass at everything else, or be good enough at everything. There's pros and cons to both. There's no right way to do life. You know what I mean? That's just that actually shows our differences between you and I. That's pretty interesting. How else do you think we're different? How do you see that we're both really different from each other?
Are we different?
I think we're pretty different. Well, I mean, I don't know. I could start with the similarities. I think we're both no bullshit kind of people.
Yeah.
We're both honest. There's no how do you say it? When we talk to each other, if it's we're being genuine. Do you know what I'm saying? There's never trying to put on a face, a facade.
Yeah, no sugarcoating.
Yeah, just us being ourselves, and then we're both understanding our intentions, right? Because if I say something, I don't mean it in a bad way, even if it does maybe sound bad. You know what I'm saying? We know each other's intentions, so that's also good. But in terms of differences, I don't know. You're shorter than me, so that's a difference.
Anyways, what teachers from Bodine have to watch this?
The what?
Because Miss McKay watches this.
Bro, I don't know. I think they all do. At this point, I just assume.
What makes you think that they take time out of their day to watch every episode?
But I don't think they watch the whole thing, but I think they're aware of the podcast. I think something I've realized.
Miss McKay, if you're watching this, I want to judge the Shakespeare Festival. Someday the champion should come back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did win that. You got pretty far. Yo, I feel like, okay, this is something really interesting about you. I feel like you do certain things that you don't know a lot about beforehand, and then you get into it, and then you're somehow really good at them. What the fuck is up with that?
I have no idea.
It's almost like it's not fake it till you make it, because you're not trying to fake it, but you are like It's almost like a cartoon character where like, oh, I guess I'll just do Shakespeare this time. And then you get far as shit in the competition. You're like almost at state level or whatever, however far you got. It was so random. It's like, wait, Barbie's like at the fucking state competition.
I did it for points for the class.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, and then you somehow get so far in a lot of things. That's why I know you're gonna be successful at whatever you end up doing, because you find a way. You find your way in whatever it is you're doing, and accidental or not, but it always works out. You're gonna
I appreciate
what's
that.
What's the word? Highly favored in a way. Do you consider yourself that you're highly favored?
If I'm being completely honest, I feel like I try to humble down a lot by thinking I'm not. Like, when you're like the favorite, when you think you're the favorite child, but you don't want to make it obvious.
Yeah.
So you try to be like, no. I feel like I do that now, but before I definitely used to always say that. I'm like, I get whatever I want. I don't know why. I don't know how. I just, every time I want something or like just something that happened, like it just does.
Yeah.
And I used to always firmly believe that. And now, like, I don't know, everybody's manifesting now and like doing all that.
Yeah.
But when they talk about it, like, I guess that's basically what that was.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like,
without even knowing that you were manifesting.
I had like this 100% confident that like what I wanted was going to be given to me.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? Necessary. Yeah. That's interesting, because I see what you're saying. Like, you used to like say all those things. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying those things. You just got to make sure you say it around the right people, because the wrong people are going to be offended by that. Mm-hmm. The wrong people get offended by confidence because they're insecure themselves. So, like, if you start saying, like, oh, yeah, I get whatever I want, someone's going to be like, oh, she's so conceited. She's so this. She's so that.
And they used to, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But that's
I stay to myself now.
Yeah.
Even though I'm more humble. I feel like the way I am now, people would have liked me more. But I don't like people now. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand.
But the old me, like, people had to be lying about they liking me, because I'd be like, I cringe when I think about it. I'm like, it's so cringy. But I don't know. I just used to
you were confident. Cool. But this is what I'm saying, like, yeah,
you were cool.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't remember ever me thinking like, oh, she's so considerate, she's so this, she's so that.
My confidence didn't bother you.
And that's my point. It's like I was like, yeah, it didn't bother me at all. She's like, that's just Barbie. Mm-hmm. And I guess maybe that's one way we're similar, because here's the thing. I'm insecure when it comes to a lot of things, and I'm honest about the things I'm insecure about. But one thing I've always been confident about is this. Like, this is one of those things that, like, I'm the most confident at. If, like, I've noticed, right, when I have certain people on the podcast, I kind of turn into a completely different person, because when I'm here in this space, I'm like the king. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like, because I have control over everything that's happening. So, like, I have no insecurity. I'm, like, purely myself. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't care that you're like, oh, why is he ranting? Right? I'm like, I'm just gonna rant. But so in that way, I'm very confident. But then you talk to me, like, if you see me at a party, I'm like kind of in the corner, kind of like, shy a little bit. So when it comes to the podcast, I'm the thing that you're talking about, where like I'm 100% confident. I rewatch the podcast all the time. Like, literally, the episode, if you're listening to this, the episode that came out last week, to you, the episode that comes out tomorrow, like, that episode, I'm so proud of, because it's, like, so good. And I'm, like, watching it, and I'm, like, editing it, and I'm like, yo, this shit is fucking amazing. Like, I'm like, there's no podcast you can point me to that it's as good as this one. But then people are gonna hear this one and be like, "Oh, this shit is ass." No, I'm joking.
It's alright. No, this is fun. Make a hit.
No. This is fun. This is I actually like this episode a lot because it's a vibe. It's just us hanging out. It's just us talking.
And this one is gonna reference that one a lot. Like the good one.
No, but because that one's more serious. You know what I mean? There were like emotions involved. We're tackling like really deep topics. This one,
I need to start watching your podcast.
You should. I don't know why you're not. Yeah, why aren't you watching my podcast?
You're on
Marvin?
YouTube, or you have like your own link.
So everywhere, it's everywhere. Anywhere you can find it, you put Empty Opinions everywhere. You'll find it. Try it.
If you on my Apple,
try it. I want to see where you can type it that it pops up. It's Empty Opinions is the name. I don't know if you know. That's the name of the podcast that you're on right now. Yeah, it's called Empty Opinions. I don't care where you look for it. Yeah, right.
The Empty Experience.
No, I said Empty Opinions. Did you put empty?
But the empty.
Let me see.
The Empty Experience.
What? You can't find podcasts on Apple Music.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't. Oh. They have music. It's just
they only have music. Listen to podcasts, aren't they?
It's only on Apple Podcasts. They have their own podcast app.
Oh, You're Apple not gonna, does. Oh, they.
Yeah.
Wait, wrong app.
They have a podcast app. You can find me there. Yeah, you're not gonna find me where you listen to Donda or the new Kendrick album or any of that. New Drake album. New Drake album should be out by the time you're listening to this. Yeah, it's true. It comes out September 3rd. If you're watching this, let me know what you think of that album in the comments down below. What?
If you're watching this.
Yeah. Yeah, whoever.
If you're watching this,
you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I drove all the way from school to come down here so Eladio can rant and I can just sit here.
I've asked you questions. I literally started the episode asking you, how are you doing? You told me you made bread. Do you remember that?
Oh, we were talking about that. Yeah, I made bread now from scratch.
Yo, what?
Because I want to...
Make bread?
Yeah, I want to actually, like... I don't want to get married anytime soon or anything. But when I do become a wife and a mom and all of that... Like, I want to be making our breads in the morning. Like, oh, honey, oh, your friend's, like, wife just had a baby. Let me send them some cookies over. Like, you know, just, like, baked goods and, like,
Interesting. Yo, you know what's funny? This is kind of a new development. Because I remember... We've talked before, and you were like, I just see myself... Actually, the last episode, I kind of just see myself as a cool auntie. So this is an interesting character development that we're witnessing right here, ladies and gentlemen. You know, no time soon, but, you know, when I'm a wife and a mom, and I got the kids, and I'm making them bread and shit, I'm like, oh, okay. That's nice to see. Nice to see that the character development.
I'm getting older.
Yeah. What do you think changed? So you just got older, or like...
I feel like life. I don't know. I want to say like just one thing, but I think like just a lot of things just happening. It's just like I like to reflect a lot.
That's good.
So it's just like life is short. Nobody really, like, people try to sit here and like give you a meaning to life. Oh, life is about this, life is about that, or you have to be this and that to go to heaven or wherever you go after. Like all this shit, but nobody knows for certain anything. Ain't nobody sure about anything. But the only thing that we're sure of is like you could die any second. Or like if I think about myself, I don't know why, for a while I was thinking about my death a lot and like me being like in my deathbed or shit like that.
Well, I think I know why.
And
I know why.
Well, with everything going on.
Yeah, it was just like some experiences that you had that kind of were pretty scary that made you like reflect.
Yeah, and I was thinking, I'm like, you know, if I'm in my deathbed, I do not want to stay here and think about I didn't want to do that, but I still did that today. Or like just anything. You don't want to have regrets. Yeah, and then it's just so crazy to me that like people really live their whole life not happy. And it's like, I'd rather make everybody like not like me, talk about me, but me truly live happy. So I just like took a step back and I'm like, what really do make me happy? What am I really doing for like other people?
And the answer is bread. Making bread.
No, the answer is that like...
Oh, okay.
I do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, that's what makes you happy.
If I wake up today and I want to make bread, I will go to the store. Yeah. And I'm blessed enough to have that type of life. Yeah. You think people right now can wake up and be like, I want to go to the store and make bread?
No.
Some of them don't have the money. Some of them are not capable of it. So it's like, if I have moving legs, arms of work. I'm breathing fine. Why would I not
take advantage of that? Yeah.
Go make bread.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to die. Or next week, you're going to hear me still saying. And this is what I hate. This is why I don't talk to people as much anymore. You'll talk to somebody today, and they'll talk about, like, shit that they want to do, things in their life that they hate. And you can tell them how to change it or be like, hey, like, dude. You'll talk to them 6 months, a year later. They're still complaining about the same shit. And it's like, if you're not doing anything to change your life, like, I can't. Yeah. And I don't like people who think that, like, they just have to deal with the cards, like, through at them. Like, no, shuffle that shit. Like, get new cards, do something. So I feel like,
don't be complacent, pretty much. It's like, don't get complacent in a place you're not happy with.
So I had to, like, remind myself that, like, you know, the world is yours.
The world is your oyster.
Everybody's just living in it.
Yeah, that deserves a round of applause, right? I think that's a pretty inspirational message for anybody listening.
But definitely taking care of yourself. Definitely take care of other people too. If you just looking out for yourself, I feel like, I don't know. I'm not God. I only been here 20 years. I don't know how karma works that well, but I feel like if you only looking out for yourself, like, you're not gonna keep everything that you gain. Like, I feel like you have to share.
It won't last long.
And I feel like that's probably, like, the number one thing. I'm not trying to brag or, like this is not things that you try to tell other people. This is, like, the type of stuff you do out of the kindness of your heart. Yeah. But, like, if I have money, like, listen, if y'all looking at this, y'all know how many people I send money to just because. And y'all know if y'all need it, like, you know. Or, like, just after work. Like, I'll be so tired after work. But let's say somebody ordered food and they didn't pick it up or something. Like, I will go to, like, the homeless people in, like, K&A. Yeah. And, like, go... Everybody be like, oh, don't go down there. It's so dangerous. And I'm like, they don't need food. It's so dangerous, so they not going to eat tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
So I will, like, go and, like, take them food and stuff like that.
Nice. That's nice.
Or, like, or just do whatever I can. Like, if there's somebody in front of me, they don't got money, I'll be like, I'll pay their food. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Or just shit like that.
Just little things. It's the little things. I think I'm going to title this episode as The Little Things. Because it's the little things that you learn along the way. It's the little things you do.
It's the little things that led to the biggest changes in my life.
Right. Exactly. And isn't The Little Things like a HBO show? Little Lies or something like that.
Pretty Little Things?
Well, yeah, I think so. Or is it, I don't know. There's a mystery show called It's a Little Things or something.
Yeah, Pretty Little Things, I think.
There's Pretty Little Liars too.
Oh, that's the thing.
Pretty Little Liars. My sister loves that show, and apparently they're rebooting it. They're making a new show. That should be fun. That's cool. What do you do for fun? I want to hear all this. We kind of talked about it, but what do you do for fun?
For fun?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out what I like to do for fun.
What do you mean? You do stuff for fun, no?
Yeah.
So what are those things that you do for fun?
But, like, for example, I like to vacation. I like to go out. I like to do stuff like that. You can't do that every single day.
Right.
You know,
but that's fun. That's fun.
But I'm trying to find, like, the one thing that, like, I can do every single day. So right now I feel like it'll be golfing. Because I can always go to the country club. Like, we have access to that. Yo, we have access to a $25,000, like, entry fee type country club.
Damn.
I know, right?
Anyway. That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, so you've been going to that country club a lot, I guess, if you're doing golf. I mean, how is that? I feel like country clubs are weird because it feels like it's just a whole different world, no? I like country clubs just like it's like separate from whatever the fuck is happening in the world. Like, the rich people go to country clubs, and that's like their own separate universe.
Literally, like, I have 30 minutes before meeting. Let me go hit some balls. What?
Yeah, let me hang with the bros, ride with the bros. You know what I mean? Talk about, oh man, the stock market is crazy.
Yo, but I'm trying to get closer to those type of people. I'm trying to network.
Yeah. That's fun. Yeah. Well, yeah. Those are the best people to network with, because that's where you find like the real important people. And that's funny.
So I feel like I'm playing my cards right. You know, like I'm just trying to like see, but it is a fun game. Like, you know, golf is just like you have to be relaxed to play golf. If you're not relaxed, like. You're just gonna be you're gonna be more mad and more frustrated.
Yeah, you're gonna start hitting the fucking
like, shit like that.
You're gonna hit in the club on the grass like fuck. Is it gonna be like Billy Madison? You remember Billy Madison, the Adam Sandler movie where he's playing golf?
Oh yeah,
where he's just angry all the time. Yeah, that's basically gonna be it if you're not like chill. Yeah, I've been thinking about country clubs a lot because I've been passing them like a lot recently in the areas I've been driving. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to, I want to like. Somehow make my way into these country clubs, because I'm sure there's so many opportunities that you can encounter just by being there, doing whatever, you know what I mean, just being part of it. Like there's this one show I watched a long time ago called Red Oaks. It was just a show about this guy who found a part-time job in his country club, and it's just like that life. It's a really funny show, but it was just like so different than anything that you would see in Philly. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm fascinated by those like completely different worlds that people don't even know exist. You know what I mean? Like I've been thinking about well, you can say something after I say something. You can like add something. I don't have to ask you a question for you to say something, right?
No,
you do know that,
listening.
Right? Okay, cool. Because I feel like sometimes you don't say nothing, and I don't know if it's because you're expecting me to ask you a question?
No, I'm just listening. I'm taking in.
Because then I go in a rant because you don't say anything. It's gonna be a rant if you don't say nothing. You gotta get in there and say something. I don't know. No, but I've been thinking about how like if I feel like people don't realize how many rich people live in Philly because they're kind of hidden. Like the rich people that live in Philly, it's just like hidden where you could never find them unless you go purposely looking for them. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to the woods. Like around, I'm just saying, like there's
you won't find rich people in the woods.
Yeah, if you go to, I'm not even lying. That's not even an exaggeration. If you go to the woods, like around Abington.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah, Abington is the woods, and you drive, and it's just all trees and shit. And you drive long enough, and then you see like a little bit of a house, like far as shit, and then you kind of look, and it's like this whole compound, and that's what. And I'm like, bro, how the fuck would anybody even know that there's rich people living in Philly? Like, you would never know. Similar to the country club thing, they make themselves separate from everybody else, and you just wouldn't know unless you like know them personally. You know what I mean? What do you have to say about that?
Well, I don't know where they be at.
All right, that's gonna be it for this.
Oh, you got something to say? Country club.
That's a good way to end. Yeah, you can catch Barbie at your local country club.
Not your local. We definitely
You're expensive.
Have a nice country club.
The one you can't get into unless you got 25 grand, 25 racks on you. All right, that's an
entry fee.
Yeah, that's just the entry fee. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's gonna be it for.
Shit, you're really on time.
Yeah.
No, listen, but I feel like that was.
It got better towards the second half because we found our groove. You know what I mean?
Do you want to like throw something crazy in there, like
what?
And then you can like with your editing skills, you can make it look longer.
What are you suggesting? What idea do you have? Let's brainstorm. What do you? I don't. I'm ready to just end it. But you just threw that in there. I thought you had an idea.
Friend, how about we could set up a Zoom too, and I could give you a better.
Nah, I'm not doing Zoom. Zoom, no.
But
Zoom.
You just did Zoom.
I know, but that was a specific a specific circumstance. Typically, I don't want to start doing a lot of Zooms. I've only done 2 in the 138 episodes. I don't do them.
The third.
All right, maybe one day we'll see. But I mean, you come to whatever. You're pretty.
Oh yeah.
I feel like when you come to Philly, you're pretty busy, so I understand that. You probably have more time with your.
No, something, to be honest, it was not supposed to be this rush. Something just came up last minute.
Yeah.
Like
life happens.
I'm about to send money to this party I'm not going to go to damn. I'm not going to the party. So here's this money. Wow. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine, girl.
Yeah. I mean, shit just happens. I thought that I feel like you fucked up my ending. I was like, it was perfectly set up for me to end it, and then you threw in, you want to do something else? And I'm like, what?
You can still cut it out.
I don't know. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this episode. I'm telling you that much. You don't know what the fuck, how this is going to turn out.
Imagine I look at that shit and you have pieces that don't even go together.
Yeah, and you're like saying shit. It was like, Eladio's podcast is the greatest podcast. I just have you saying wild shit. No. Yo, that'd be hilarious.
Another thing, you know what fallacies are?
Yes.
Okay. So this is like I'm basically going over fallacies for like a second semester.
Because there's so many, or it's so deep, it's such a big topic.
I don't like I don't know why the fuck I'm taking so many fallacy classes.
Yeah. Well,
I think my minor because I guess my minor and my major kind of like blend. Eventually, I guess you can say they work together. But 2 different classes and they're making me learn the thing. So now every time I talk or somebody talks, I'm like,
that's a fallacy. What fallacy did I just commit?
Oh my God, you did so many.
Really?
Yes. I don't remember all of the names. But
just explain them. What kind of fallacies I just did?
Well, you do a lot of like, if this happens, then this is going to happen. Like, that's not true, because if this happens, so many other things can happen.
Sure.
You don't break it down into just 2 things.
Right.
You also do, like, you make assumptions, and, like, your facts do not even, like, they're not valid facts. Like, you know what I'm, like, you make a lot of claims, and, like, the evidence is not there.
Yeah.
Like, you can come to that claim, that conclusion with a lot of different evidence. Or a different conclusion with the evidence that you try to give. So, yeah, just
is there, like, a fallacy? That. Well, okay, tell me this. Is there a fallacy where I can just kind of talk and not have, like, things contradict? Or, like, what's a good... Is there any good fallacies, or are all fallacies bad just by definition?
Or fallacies aren't... Fallacies are just fallacies. They're just...
Well, you're making it sound like bad. It's
well,
like, if saying this is this, and that don't mean that it's this. So why do you talk bad facts? I'm like,
if you're trying to prove something, like, no, because fallacies are not.
I understand. I understand your point. I'm not trying. This is not a debate.
There's a fallacies about fallacies.
Right. That's the one. That's the side I'm on. Fuck fallacies. That's the fallacy I like. Is that what that fallacy says? Fuck fallacies.
Yeah, it's the fallacy that you can be like, but like if you say something, you'd be like, I mean, but technically that could be a fallacy, so you can say this, this, and this. Right. You're using another type of fallacy by doing that.
Because it can just, it can go on forever. You're like, besides the point. I think I know what you're saying. I'm catching your drift. Yeah. What?
No, I said I've gotten so corny. Right? Like I'm just thinking about I'm like,
what the fuck are you talking about, Barbie? Fallacies.
Telling you.
No, that is interesting, and I will talk more about it, but I've been trying to wrap up this episode for the past 5 minutes.
But we're not done yet.
it does feel like you don't want it to end. You said 1:30 sharp, and I'm like, okay, I gotta keep a lookout for that. Are you good? Yo, this episode is so fucking chaotic. We're getting the doorbell ring like halfway through the episode. We're eating Panera bread. You're just texting in the middle of the episode. That's always fun. Yeah. Let's just watch Barbie text.
Let's not. How many views do you get on this type of stuff?
Not many. Not on the... not many for the whole thing, because nobody watches the whole thing.
Oh, it don't give you the...
What do you mean? Like,
it don't give you the points or, like, the viewers?
No, it does. I'm just saying, like, I've noticed with my podcast, it's more about the clips in the Instagram page than it is about the actual podcast, because people don't like to watch something that's more than 30 seconds long. And, I mean, that's just fine. I'm still going to do the whole thing because there's a lot of content to mine through to make clips. So it's not... I've realized, like... Oh, this could go back to something we were talking about earlier about... that I feel like people don't really watch the whole thing, but they're aware of it. Mm-hmm. So me being consistent and making episodes every week is less about the views it's getting and more about the people that know I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to get to the point where, like, people are going to spread it and somebody's going to learn about it. And it was like, oh, okay. And then they're going to see an opportunity with the podcast, and then it goes from there. I'm not worried about the views at all because that's kind of irrelevant because, yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of doing it. Consistency is... Yeah, I'm just staying consistent, and I know the opportunities are going to come from that. And the awareness that I'm creating from the podcast, right, just from the clips and the people I get on the podcast, is what I was saying earlier, where, like, I feel like a lot of people are aware of...
Are we still live?
Yes, we're still going. What do you think?
I thought like you could pause it from a button over there.
Why would I be talking to? Do you think I was just talking to you?
Yes, I'm here.
Well, I'm just saying, like, only talking to you.
Yes, I'm here.
But we've been recording this whole. Everything is recorded.
So if that wasn't there, you wouldn't be talking to me.
I would, but not like I wouldn't be holding this. I wouldn't be holding a microphone.
Okay, I just thought you wanted like a.
We're still recording. This is all part of the episode. You're just chilling, just going to take the trash out, texting. I mean, in a way, I kind of like it because it's very casual, and I want this episode to feel casual. But yeah, this is kind of funny. You're just like, oh, yeah, are you recording? Let me look at the camera real quick.
I have faith in your editing skills.
Oh, this episode is going to take
Nobody's
5 days
even
to
gonna
edit.
know.
Well, I'm going to keep a lot of stuff in because it's funny. And a lot of things I'm going to take out. I don't know. It's going to be, again, I'm a very go-with-the-flow person.
Okay.
So,
but I feel like we didn't really talk about anything. So
we
should
did.
We schedule another, like, podcast?
We talked about fallacies. We talked about bread.
Don't
we
really want to know about fallacies.
Oh,
you should have had me here and then explain how to make bread. That would have been a podcast.
You think that would have been more interesting than this?
Yeah.
Watching somebody make bread? You know that's like an expression they use. It's like, that shit is more boring than watching someone make bread. You know, I'm not even making that up.
For real?
Because that shit is boring. It takes like 5 years to make bread or some shit. It takes a long time.
Not really. Well, hope everybody has a blessed day.
That's how we're going to end it?
Yeah. Post this at like 222 or something so people could think it was like meant for them to watch it.
There's a schedule. I got to stick with it. I'm sorry. I can't break the rules, Barbie. The rules are the rules. You know what I mean? We're supposed to follow the rules. How about you do the outro for the episode? I was going to do it, but you do it.
What is it?
Just do an outro. Just end the episode for me.
Okay. Closing.
No, it has to be way more than that. It has to be like a whole. I'm gonna run it down for you. You basically, I'm not gonna tell you a script.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you exactly what to say, but it has to follow this formula. Mm-hmm. Thanking the viewer for having watched this. This is episode 138.
Okay.
Right? So you have to tell them, hey, thank you for watching. This has been episode 138, right? Of the Empty Opinions podcast. That's the name. Right? You got to thank them. Tell them the episode number, 138. The name of the podcast. With a guest, you. So you're the guest. And then you introduce a song. You're like, in this episode, we're going to play this song. So go ahead.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching my YouTube channel. This is Empty Opinions. And don't forget to subscribe. The link right here. Make sure you put a link right there. Right there.
Yeah, right there.
Yes. Stay tuned. Oh, and don't forget to
what episode is this?
Ring the little bell
to
not miss.
Important. What episode is this?
What else they be saying on YouTube though?
Like, subscribe, comment, all that.
Leave your comments below. If you guys think this video should have been longer, if anything should have been changed, you know, all of the comments are appreciated. And this is episode 138. Please tune in for Empty Opinions number.
You just said it. Yeah.
200 next week. No. Wait, what number was this one? 138?
It's 138.
Oh, 130. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna start again.
Start over? Okay.
Bye, guys. No. Okay. Thank you, the viewers, for watching episode 138. And stay tuned for more Empty Opinions with Eladio and whatever guest he calls last minute because he can't get nobody else on the show. And here is her, Damage.
Okay, I thought you were going to forget about the song. Yeah, let's play Damage. That was a great outro.